Hi all. Right, back with more Red Storm, back with Defection Scenario 4 Iron Eagle. This is my part 20. So still here, same day, Friday night. Just putting together part 19. Did get myself in a bit of a tizzy there about this combination of AA and SAM attacks and how it all works. Still not quite sure. I'd like to leave that question for John, I suppose, about what was asking in here. If the fact that we've got a mobile AA and an AA concentration, do they count as two different things in the same hex, or would they just be one? Yeah, I've already put it there. I've left it in part 19, like I say, but I'm not so sure I'm going to get that uploaded. I do like to watch them back. It could be that wee sort of dilemma. I could upload it now and just put it out there without checking it myself. I feel like this is probably a video playthrough that would have been more beneficial from that, because although playthroughs in the past that I've had when I like to try and spot mistakes myself rather than have them pointed out to me, but this game being kind of new to me, maybe doesn't really make as much difference anyway. Right, anyway, we'll maybe try and work on that. We'll try and work on looking up, because how many times recently have I left a question out there and John's answered it and quoted me the rule, and then I've thought, I could have found that myself, you know. So, I just glanced down. It's strange how I seem to quite often have the rule book open or quite close to something that's quite relevant at the time. Kind of spooky at times. I'm looking on page 23 here, and I just glanced at 14.63 mobile AA attacks. Obviously, I was looking at this previously before I press record there. And just the first paragraph, the last sentence of the first paragraph says, resolve all flak barrage and radar AAA attacks on the flight before resolving mobile AAA attacks. So that does tend to tell me that these three things are separate. And I mean, when we go back to it, if you look at AA types at the very, that's on the previous page, 22, Rule 14, anti-aircraft artillery, AA types, there are three types of AA Red Storm. AA concentrations, which could be light, medium or heavy. Radar AA, which are fire cans, kinda, although the one we've got kind of comes under that as well. And mobile AA is the 2K22, Jeopard and Vulcan. The latter two categories are referred to collectively as radar equipped AA. So that there said, resolve all flak barrage. Which, see, the wording in that is like, you know, we're talking about AA concentrations there, and then they're mentioning flak barrage, which is a different thing, but I mean, maybe it does describe it, but my take on that is an AA concentration is a flak barrage. AA barrage. An active AA concentration projects a flak barrage zone. Okay, so it does tell you there under 14.4 AA barrage. So we resolve all flak barrage and radar AA attacks. Now, radar AA attacks are fire can on the flight before resolving mobile AA attacks. Yeah, it's three separate things there, Grant. So that kind of tells you that, well, you resolve them in that order. Well, let's say mobile AA attacks are last, right? And we've already looked at SAMs to see that SAM attacks are last. So the way I'm reading that is you would resolve AA concentrations and radar AAs, and that being the fire can. And what order you resolve them, I'm not quite sure. Whether there's a way in which to resolve. The important part here is that they're separate things, I suppose. So so that answers my question, doesn't it? So when I do move into this hex here, that is going to be an inherent AA zone. An inherent AA attack I'm going to get from that. And it's also going to be in an AA concentration. So that means I would resolve the flak attack from that first. Then there'd be no radar AA attacks, as in fire cans. However, then I would resolve the mobile AA attack, which is inherent 2K22. And then I would then check to see if the SAM attacked, because it'd be at long range. So all the three things are in fact going to happen. The 2K22 is bad. This isn't as bad, I want to say. Is that right? Yeah, 2K22, well, let's just say we're sitting at low altitude. So the 2K22, the inherent fire from that is a 13 or greater. I'm not counting modifiers here. And the light AA barrage is a 16 or greater. So you can see this isn't as important, but they are two separate things. And that's why I was wanting to try and take this out, because I can't take the inherent AA out. I can't touch that. So, well, if you're going to touch it, if you're going to touch the AA barrage in that hex now, Grant, you're going to have to, well, you've got one EOGM left, so you either change your plan about going for the SAM. I think I should still stick with that and try the SAM again. Just wonder if the chances of hitting that AA barrage might have been a better, again, this is something you're going to learn from experience, isn't it? You're going to say to yourself, well, it's going to be a bit tricky to take that SAM out, but you know what, we're going to be sitting at long range. Now he's got that long range check that he's going to make every time before he even decides if he's going to attack. So there's that. So this might have been more important to take out. I'm just not sure. But it looks like I'm getting the impression that they're all separate things. So at least we don't need to wait on John's answer for that. Well, let's hope we don't, and we've got that right, that they are three separate things. Okay, well, let's move on anyway, because I tell you what, some of this might be irrelevant, because we've got two cap flights that are right in the midst. Well, one of our F-16 flights, our bomber flight, and then the other F-16 flight to an extent as well. They're all within range of that. So yeah, me suggesting about holding the bombers back a bit, it could end up being a bit of a mistake as well. Maybe we want to just get in there and take our chances and get our bombs dropped. Okay, right, well, it's this Warsaw Pact's turn. So let's draw a chip for them. And, well, it doesn't particularly matter here if they did draw a 0 or not. Well, it's a 4 on the large, so 2 on the small side. So, well, we still need to roll, I suppose. See, here's a thing. Generally, you wouldn't be in really that bothered. Well, I say they're not bothered. I suppose if we were threatening to attack them. So you don't know that for sure, I suppose. Right, so we still need to just roll on the suit, don't we? Yeah, there's nothing to sort of say that aborted flights and flights that are trying off the map should have any kind of preference or not. So I'm going to roll for a suit because I think we've got a diamond, a heart, and 2 spades out there. So let's see what we get. Got a 4. Aha, it's a spades. So it is going to be the two flights that are just trying to get out of there. Okay. Oh well. Right, so it's MiG-21s. Well, I suppose I do need to, again, it's probably irrelevant, but let's say Richter's odd. I've rolled odd, so he's going to move first. So he's the one that's not aborted. He's the one that's got the crippled aircraft then, is that right? Yeah. Richter's got a crippled aircraft and a good aircraft, yeah. So he cannot dash. He's at high altitude. He's just going to combat throttle and just move. I think it's 4, isn't it? He's at high altitude, a clean profile. He's got a speed of 4. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think we're just going to stick with what John has said. He has commented that, to be honest, this map should extend further, but I just don't believe it's really makes that much difference anyway. But good to know that wasn't the case, because the fact it shows it on there, that doesn't obviously mean that the map finishes there. You've got to look at what the rules say. The rules say we're using the eastern section of the map, but that means from full north to full south, just the eastern part, you know. So anyway, right, so move that flight, and I'll not bother to put a cube on it yet. We'll just get the other one moved as well. So the other one's in aborted state, so it's going to dash. And it might just get out of here. Dash it high, so it's going to be 6. Now, does it care about dashing when fuel issues are? I don't think there was many fuel issues though, was there? That's his Hess flight, isn't it? Yeah, he's alright, to be honest. Okay, so going to put a dash marker on him. He's got a movement of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, well he's out of there now, so I can take that off. I'll leave the dash marker with him, and he's a abort marker, I suppose. So I think that means we roll for recovery on that now. Sorry, that's maybe just off. Again, I'm not so sure it really matters. It says, if possible, exit playing area and recover. Well, let's find the rule again, 22. See, it talks at the end of scenario, but then I think it talks aircraft in a flight that exits east or west. Flight exit north or south. Yeah, but it's not on the wrong side of the front, so it's just condition C applies, isn't it? If only condition C applies, roll out for damaged or crippled aircraft in the flight. This roll takes place in the fuel phase of the turn the flight exits during a scenario, or in the recovery phase if it ends a scenario on the map. Okay, so that'll happen in the fuel phase then. So when I check fuel, I'll mark the dash and then we'll check for recovery. And that's the one that's just got a damaged aircraft, isn't it? So it's unlikely, because I think we need to roll very, very low for that to happen. Okay, so that's their 2 flights. Their 2 initiatives used up. I suppose I'll mark that as well to say that was the second one, just to keep us right. So that goes back in the cup, so it's back across to us. That means we've only got, we've got 3 flights to move, but none of which are right. So 3 in the large. Was this the 3 in the 3 maybe? Oh, it is 3 in the small. So that's going to be all our flights. Okay. Right, we're going to have to decide what you're doing with your bomber. Well, let me kill time and move Cobra then. Right, so Cobra is in a disordered state and it's got a maneuver marker. Let's just double check. Well, disordered, we need to head back somewhere, don't we? What was the... I want to say Wellflecken. Oh no, I've not marked that anyway. Maybe it's not. Maybe that is ours. No, but that's on the wrong side of the front. Hang on then. Because it told us there were certain airfields closed. Oh, is it they're closed? They're closed, but they're on our side of the front. And this one's a bit borderline, isn't it? Because the front marker's there. That kind of looks like it's over the other side, but this one does not. It looks like it's on our side, and that one looks like, that one there looks like it's on our side as well. But that airfield there does not look, that's on the Warsaw Pat side of the front, because the front comes down there. So I mustn't be able to use that. It says the closed airfields. That's not one of them. Is it Wellflecken? No. Hoxton, Bad Hersfeld, Emery, Kitzingen, and Bamberg. That's Emery and Kitzingen. That's Bamberg. And the other two, I think John maybe said they might be further up in that area that we've not got uncovered. I don't know then. We surely can't use that airfield if it's across. It's just that would be the better place to head. That's the closest to Cobra to try and get them out of disorder. And remember, we eventually found out that friendly airfields count as rally points, don't they? Right, let me see if I can find out something more about that then. So it does 8.35, I want another rally point. All friendly open airfields may be used as rally points. But it's certainly not said this is a closed airfield. Just my worry is that it's the other side of the front, so why is it? Well, maybe it's just not been taken yet. It's feasible, I guess. Right, let me see if I can find more about it. I can't find anything that tells me that's not. I was looking up the definition of the front and and then airfields. Wait a minute. Airfields, there it is. There. All NATO airfields on the NATO side of the front and in the scenario plate area are open unless stated otherwise. Unless otherwise noted, all NATO airfields have inherent light AAA. Capture NATO airfields. As the front moves forward, certain NATO airfields will end up on the Warsaw Pact side of the front, depending on the date. Once behind the Warsaw Pact front, these airfields may be used by the Warsaw Pact player as if they were Warsaw Pact airfields. They retain their inherent light AAA concentrations. They are not, however, considered to be in East Germany for any purpose. Right, yeah, well, I'm glad I noticed that. It did feel a bit odd that across the other side of the front, but... So my guess is that this isn't an option, and Fulda as well. Maybe Fulda is okay still, just the other side. Maybe it's not though. And to be honest, would I not be better just heading west and getting across the other side of the front? Because I've realised also that Cobra does have a crippled aircraft. So that's going to have to roll for recovery, and we want to be across our side of the front when that happens. Okay, right. Yeah, I'm just going to try and head them for... hold on, no. We can... yeah, we could have split the flight, couldn't we? Because our other 3 aircraft are good in Cobra flight. Can we do that while we're disordered, though? Yeah, I'd forgot all about that. I've been thinking about that. Split flights, 414. I don't know, the fact that we've got a disorder marker on us, though, does that stop us from doing that, maybe? Well, it's not saying anything against that, but just says a flight of 3 or more aircraft may split into 2 flights in the admin phase. This may only be done if there's a crippled aircraft in the flight. And the new flight must comprise of all the crippled aircraft and 1 non-damaged aircraft. The new flight is identical to the parent flight in terms of fuel, ammo, facing detection status, morale status, aggression value, etc. Because even the fact that we've got a crippled aircraft and the flight means we cannot set dash throttle, but if we had split that flight into 2 parts, then one part of it would have been able to go to dash throttle and might have stood a chance. Let's just... Well, there's questions there. Could I have split that flight in the admin phase, John, and had 1 crippled and 1 normal flight while we were disordered? I'm assuming that both flights would stay disordered. They would both have that manoeuvre marker on them. But it would enable one of the flight without the crippled aircraft, I believe, to set dash throttle and maybe get to orbit point rally point quicker. Yeah, okay. Right. I'm going to move Cobra flight then. He's at medium altitude, and like we've just said, because he's got a crippled flight, we cannot set dash throttle. So he's a clean flight at medium. It's got a speed of 4, and we cannot dash. Yeah, you can see how that would help, eh? Okay. Right, so speed of 4. Well, I'm just going to head them west, so I'm going to turn them to start with. 30, 60, 90, 120 is facing that way. For 1 movement point. 2, then I'm going to spend 1 more to climb to high and free turn 60 degrees. Right, I'm kind of trying to do that quicker than I should do. So he was facing that way. I've done a turn to start with, that's 1 movement point. I moved into there, that's 2 movement points. I climbed and free turn, that's 3 movement points. So I'm going to end up in beside Siskov. Is that silly? Probably. Does that not make it awful easy for him to... Yeah, let's rethink that. So you're not just ear to ear us right away. Right, let's... well, I could maybe turn the other way then. So 4 movement points. Let's do it properly. Can't dash. So I'm going to turn 30... 60, 90, 120 facing south for my first movement point. And I'm then going to move into that hex for my second movement point, doing a free 30, 60 degree turn down to 2 movement points. I'm then going to move into there and do a free 30 degree turn. I kind of want to climb. Yeah, and then I'm going to use my last movement point and that heads to climb to high altitude. So hang on, this medium's for that guy. We're in hex 5743. Facing that way at high altitude. That's a medium for that. That's a medium for that. Okay. Right. Think that was right. Oh no. It's not right at all, is it? Because I've got that maneuver marker. That uses up half my movement, doesn't it? Right, let's start again. So, yeah, let's just double check it. It uses up half of it, doesn't it? Maneuver markers. There we go. Placed. Fight begins. Must expend half its movement points rounded up. There you go. So we're going to set our speed at 4, and then we're going to use 2 of that to remove the marker. So we're only going to have 2 movement points. I'll take that maneuver marker off camera, but it's going. We're still disordered. Yeah, but we started at 4. Could have... No, that wouldn't have helped, would it? Oh, so I've still got a 120 degree turn. Right, so first movement point is 30, 60, 90, 120 facing south. Second movement point is moving into the hex and doing a free 60 degree turn. So that means I'm not going to be able to change my altitude. I'm still at medium because I only had 2 movement points. Yeah, that's about the best I can do. Okay. Right, okay, let's get our 2 flights moved in and then see what the Warsaw Pact. I'm not quite sure I'm going to have time to... I might be able to get back to it later. It's getting on a bit and I've still not eaten yet, so... Right, well, the standoff jammer's just going to move. Yeah, he's... Right, again, getting heavily congested in here. So if we were to slow down and turn, we can take on a speed. I'm talking about my slam flight here, my bombers. I could reduce it to 2 speed and just turn and move into hex. And the reason I want to do that is I don't want to be closer. Well, Zelenko's... Well, he's going to be 1 hex away from that and 1 hex away from Cobra, isn't he? Yeah, I don't want to be in this hex because then I'm 1 hex away as well. So I think what I want to do is, now I'm heading towards, well, I've satisfied towards movement waypoint 3, so I'm now heading towards waypoint 4. Yeah, see, I can't even put them on. That's fine. I'm only going to move up one hex, I think. Anyway, so I'm going to turn 60 degrees for one movement point. I was only setting my speed at 2, and then I'm going to move now. Do I want to drop altitude? I think I might want to actually. I want to start dropping a little bit now, don't I? It doesn't matter if I'm at high or medium anyway. Right. Well, when does high come into it? It's for the light AA, isn't it? Yeah, with no medium or heavy AA, they fire at high anyway. It's really just the... So it's got Sam Swash, White Barrage A. I'm assuming that's if you were in the hex that had a Sam in it, it has a white, it has its own barrage, if you like, in the hex, I think. So it's a white AA that we need to worry about if we're at medium altitude. And that's the one, but we need to drop to that anyway. So yeah, I think I'll move my second movement point into here, and we'll drop to medium altitude. And yeah, that's it. So next turn we could set our speed at we could dash at 4. 30, 60, 1, free turn, 2. Well, in fact, we could set our speed at 3. So we could run the bomb run next turn. Well, I think we might actually have to. Okay. Right, that's him moved. And then finally, the standoff jamming flight. A medium altitude. It's got a speed of 4, but it's got a... Yeah, we're wanting to change this now, aren't we? Because it's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not facing in the right way at all, is it? Fortunately, I suppose. Well, would I not have been better turning here then? Yeah, I probably would have been. Hang on. Let's rewind that. I don't think I've set this up that well, have I? Shouldn't I just turn and go kind of north, maybe? Right, if I remove my jamming just now, what have I got to worry about? This is my last flight. So the only thing I'm jamming is, well, okay, we won't have the EWR next turn, but that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm gonna turn... Well, this is going to drop off, right? And then this spot jamming marker is going to drop off, and then that spot jamming marker is going to drop off. Right, and we're going to... right, we're going to set our speed at what? 3? Yeah, we'll still set it at 3, so I'm going to do the turn there. No. I'm going to do 1 free 30-degree turn. See, I'm just wondering if it's coming out that way. I think you should just do a free 60-degree turn, Grant. So that was 1 and our speed was 4, or it could be 3. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, if I set the jammer coming out that way... Yeah, it's tricky that, isn't it? It's tricky trying to keep that all in place. What are we worried about? Probably that 2K22 there. Well, I could set the jamming thing up that way then, couldn't I? Yeah, let's just go with that. I'm maybe rushing things at the end here. Just, I kind of figured I might have got this scenario possibly finished tonight, but that's definitely not going to happen now. Okay. Right, I'm gonna have to take a pause now. So that's all our flights moved. So it's Warsaw Pact to go, and they've got their two cap missions to go, haven't they? We've moved all our flights. Yeah, so that may be interesting to see what they're going to do. I mean, the MiG-29, which is what is it, Siskov, he does have the manoeuvre marker on him, so he's only going to get half his speed. However, he does have BVR capabilities, so pretty sure he can still do something. And then Zelenko, yeah, he's right in the mix, everything. Okay, right, I'll there's a thought. Do I just cut this part, make it another wee short part, just so I'm at this stage? It'd be easier for me because what I'm thinking about doing is I'm uploading video part 19 just now, and I think I'm going to just throw it right out there without watching it. I don't like doing that, but I'm just thinking I'm probably going to get quite a bit of footage done over the next, well, today and tomorrow. So, I don't expect, well, if I'm going to watch it back and then upload it, and then John's going to watch it, and then he's going to tell me, you should have done this, and I'll be like, right, I'm way ahead of things. So, and I think this game, I don't really mind being called out for like things. Some of the other games that I played, I like to try and see my mistakes myself, because I've known the games better, but I'm getting used to this game a bit. And I will spot some mistakes myself, but I don't mind if it's John that's picking them out rather than myself, if it means things get moved along a bit quicker. So yeah, I will. I'll cut this at a short part, and then I will come back and finish, which could be a quite interesting two movements of the two Warsaw Pact flights, and then end this turn. And then we've got to remember 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I've still got 4 turns left, so yeah, we'll see. Okay, I'll probably not get back tonight for any more of this, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow. And yeah, still hopeful we might get it finished tomorrow, but it does depend if I was planning on setting another game up on our table, so it could depend if that interferes and I get into that or whatever. We'll see. Okay, right, I'll be back tomorrow sometime. Okay, cheers.